Hey, what's up everyone? My name is CollegeSportsREVIVED and I welcome you back to the Road to NBA 2K series, episode number 97 today. It's been over a month since the previous episode, but don't worry, the rest of the NBA Finals will be released quicker. But we currently find ourselves tied with the 71-win Mavericks at one game apiece. A quick update since it's been so long. It felt really good to steal the opening game of the series, especially after most beat writers and experts wrote us off and didn't give us a chance in this NBA Finals matchup. We saw an inspired defensive effort, holding the NBA's top offense to only 33 second half points. Ferran was on his game, he dropped 31 and 5 threes, while me and Donovan were the anchors on defense. I had 14, 12, and 3 steals in game 1, holding Hardaway to only 1 make and 7 tries from 3. Deshaun also poured in 24, but then in game 2, Dallas showed everyone just how scary this team is, dominating in the fourth quarter after a neck-and-neck contest all the way through. Donnie took the lead on offense this time around with 24 and 12, but Ferran struggled in the fourth with 7 turnovers on the game, and I shot under 50% for the second straight game. The series shifts back to the Big Apple for games 3 and 4, and the winner-take-all game 5 will be back in Dallas if necessary. But it's an awesome feeling to be back under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden, especially since me and Ferran were so close to being here last year, but the Heat beat us in that heartbreaking game 5 comeback to cut our Cinderella story short in the conference finals. But Donnie joined us in the offseason to help us get over the hump, and now the most challenging task of my career presents itself. Can we win 2 more games against one of the best teams in NBA history? Only time will tell, as we got to handle our business at home to even have a shot at this upset. I've been waiting a long time for my first ring, Donnie too. Fran's been here before, he knows what it's like. We don't. We'll see if he can help us get our first ring of our careers.
And now, please welcome your New York Knicks.
What an introduction sequence. This is the first NBA Finals game in Madison Square Garden over 20 years. It's been since 1999, and as you can tell, we're rocking the throwbacks from that season where the Knicks lost the Spurs in the 99 Finals. That was the last appearance in the championship round. It's time to make do and give this city what it deserves as we start game 3 on the defensive side of the floor. As the top NBA offense, the Dallas Mavericks, get up and running here. As Luka Doncic goes backdoor to my matchup this series. It's been me versus Tim Hardaway Jr. And I've kind of held him in check throughout this series. He shot 1 for 7 from 3 in game 1, then 1 for 5 from 3 in game 2. Overall, 36% from the field, while Donnie takes Luka and Ferran takes Deshaun. But then here on the next possession, we get on the board as I come right back at Tim Hardaway. Using his momentum against him, I got his shoulders turned and a beautiful scoop layup with my offhand to get things going here early. And here I got another take. The help comes quickly. I don't want to challenge Deshaun at the rim, but Mitchell, or rather Obi Toppin, is well short from 3. As now down the lane, here comes Kristaps, who should have had it stolen from him by Montrezl Harrell, but he picks it up, rips it, goes to the rim, and Toppin is now attacked for his second personal foul. So a badly missed 3 and 2 early personals for Toppin. Not the best start here in game 3 for our center. But Boban Marjanovic, who had 3 blocks in game 1, he will join the 5 out on the floor as we try to start to get things going here. We only have 1 basket to our names 3 minutes into the game, but quickly off the inbound, I try to rip it through on Luka to no avail, and then I have it taken away from as Hardaway takes away the entry pass, and luckily we force a miss on Deshaun's transition 3 opportunity. As Donnie, the great vision, this time I don't mess up the opportunity. Turnovers is something I got to cut down on, but it's good I'm getting to the line here early. I'm only shooting 41% through the first 2 games on the NBA Finals. As you guys know, I pride myself on my efficiency as I make 2 for 2 here. So that's something that needs to turn around here in game 3. So now we're only down by 1 after my made free throws as Jalen Brunson checks in. I got to take advantage with no Luka out on the floor. As Donnie, great dish inside, and with my offhand, I get 2 more points. The lefty is working for me so far today. Donnie with great vision. He was flirting with the triple-double in game 2, 24, 12, and 6. And now he's got a nice one to me right here. I got to get more creative on the rim. I've been struggling with the length a little bit from these Maverick players. That's part of the reason why my field goal percentage is well below my normal average. As this time I take it away from Tyrese Maxey as Donovan leaks out. That's winning basketball right there, trying to dive on the hardwood, get those loose balls. Got to win those 50-50 plays. As we take over here with 5 minutes to go, trying to build on this lead. Donnie leaking out for 3. Jalen Brunson too slow on the closeouts. All right, so now we're on a bit of a run. 15-7 Knicks after the slow start. It's been all orange and blue as the Dallas Mavericks will burn one here. And I kind of made a mistake. As you guys know, in this NBA Finals, we've been taking it game by game, going really slow, and even watching the bench when they're on the floor, which is something we don't normally do in this series. But I accidentally made a mistake. I had it set to player lock instead of position lock, so as you'll see here, it's going to cut to the second quarter instead of us being able to watch it, but no harm, no foul. We were up by 8 whenever I left the court, and now we're still up by 8 as I enter back in at the beginning of the second quarter, so didn't really change the game all too much as Hardaway uses his shoulder to create space and then steps it back from 3. That's only his 3rd made 3 on the finals so far, but Dallas cuts it to 7 now. So far, Hardaway, I've kept him in check, and he tries to hit me with a crossover here as Luka catches and fires, and it was almost back-to-back 3s for the Mavs. This time it's off the mark as Donnie upstages the MVP Doncic, showing him how it's done. 39-29 as you grab yet another rebound. We've been beating Mavericks on the board so far today. Gotta love what you're seeing. And a bunch of different aspects for us, including our playmaking, as how about Ferran taking on 3 Dallas Mavericks in one of the best highlights you'll see all playoffs long. Take a look at this. This was almost my mistake here. I accidentally brought my man because I was going to cut baseline, but Ferran says, hey, I don't care. Bring them all on me. And you're starting to see from these Knicks players, we're starting to believe. I mean, we kind of already believed in ourselves, but now he's starting to show on the floor with our swagger. A lot of people wrote us off as Ferran. He's scoring more points than the MVP on the playoff run, as you can see, both guys over 27 points per game. But a lot of people wrote us off coming into this finals, but I think we're proving some people wrong so far, as Hardaway, again, gets open. But I catch a break this time. Toppin grabs the board. He's been fighting hard despite those 2 fouls. He still stays after it as we are almost doubling the Mavs rebound output to this point on the ball game, and it's a high pick roll between me and Montrez. And how about this play? A little bit of a veteran move there. I saw Porzingis was going to try to help hard, so I kind of sold it a little bit there, but hey. We are coming off a very frustrating Game 2 loss where a lot of calls didn't go our way. The Mavs shot almost double the free throws we did in Game 2, so it looks like the refs are repaying the favor a little bit, which is nice to see as we continue to build this lead. I'm up to 10 points, 3 for 3 shooting, and a bunch of free throws. This was the start I really needed after shooting close to 40% on the series so far, as Doncic makes 2 more. But look at the disparity in field goal percentage. We're up near 60% and Dallas barely treading water over 40, but we're going to have to continue to fight as I get Doncic leaning the wrong way, fading to my right. What a shot there. Another one falls for me. 12 points, perfect from the line, perfect from the field, and a pretty picture perfect all in all said and done first half for the Knicks. Up by 17 now as Deshaun finally gets into the scoring column. He cuts it to 15, but he's really been struggling so far in the game. I believe he's 1 for 5 now, so not quite the same output as he's had through the first 2 games of the NBA Finals, as he's trying to go back-to-back and win his 2nd ring of his career. Curling off the screen, Ferran again gets yet another Mavs defender in the air with that pump fake. Hardaway continues to have his hands full. Ferran's only at 8 points, not the quite the same level of explosive scoring ability we've seen in games 1 and 2, but whenever he does score tonight, it is fancy and it is a highlight level play. Curling off a screen hard, Doncic will disrupt my perfect start to the game. But we're still up by 11 as I'm trying to stop the break here. That's what killed us in game 2 was those fast break transition threes. And how about the defense on the secondary break? Me, Deshaun, Ferran and Donovan close down the backdoor cut. And we get another offensive possession to continue to extend this lead. It's Ferran pulling from nearly the logo. And the ball not even touching the back or the rim as it goes down. 7 for 15 from 3 entering game 3 for Ferran, 24 points a game. He leads all players in that category, but Doncic not far behind. He had 22 in game 1, 27 in game 2, and he looks to get it going here tonight. With a huge slam there as we check out, as we're now still up by 12, under 2 minutes to go as the bench unit for both teams checks in, as quickly picks up right where the starters left off and pushes the lead back to a cool 15 points. It's all New York Knicks here in the first half. The first NBA Finals game here in New York since '99, and these fans are loving it. We came to play tonight, 2 seconds left. Nice little pull-up move from Jalen Brunson, but nothing to show for it. What a first half. Knicks dominating here. 60-45 as we try to go up 2 games to 1 in this best of 5 NBA Finals. We all know how big this is. We want a win here, and to get my first ring would be awesome because whenever I get that first ring, it's going to be it for me in this series. It could be this year, it could be next year, it could be never. So a lot on the line as me, Donnie, and Ferran all in double figures, as I'm also chipping in with 5 rebounds, a block, and a steal. Gotta love the bench. I mean, they picked it up right where the starters left it, and every time I exited the game, the lead was pretty much intact whenever I came back in. Hardaway actually leads the Mavs with 11 points, but on 11 shots, I think I'm doing a decent job on him again. As Doncic, not the same success, only 8 points, and a bunch of turnovers for the Mavericks. You see how many shots they've taken. It's not nearly as much as field goals attempted for them as us, and that's really due to their turnovers, as Deshaun barely making an impact here tonight. So overall, you gotta love what you're seeing from the Knicks, as this is always a big pivotal game 3 when it comes to these best of 5 series. This is how we've always done it on the road to 2K. So as we all know, this game 3, it could be make or break whenever it's tied 1-1. So Dallas gets on the board first, cuts to 13 as Doncic plays me closely, trying to lock me down after my very productive first half of action. As Ferran, for the first time, takes a tough contested 3. We've been shooting pretty cleanly all night from behind the line. As Doncic, bodied up by Ferran, he looks for a man. It's Mitchell Robinson. Nice reverse pass to Hardaway as it's a defensive collapse there. Not sure who was supposed to grab Hardaway, but I was covering somebody off the ball, so it's not on me there. So now it's down to 10. And anytime Dallas is in striking distance, you got to be a little bit worried, as Porzingis plays perfect defense on my take that time. That's really been what it's more been like every time I drive. I mean, it's been a lot tougher in game 1 and 2 than it has been tonight. As Doncic, I play pretty sound defense up until that final pull-up move, as he gets 2 more. So Dallas with the first 7 points of the second half. Now you can make that 10. It was 60-45, now it's 60-55. And we are still looking for our first bucket 5 minutes into the second half. We've gone ice cold as Deshaun goes baseline, looking to get things going, but it's off the back iron, tipped into the arms of Montrezl Harrell. Can we continue to control the glass? Well, we're doing it so far, as Deshaun's now 1 for 7, missing his first 2 shots of the second half, as I'm looking for a teammate. It's a big, a bunch of bodies there in the middle, but as the dust settles, it's me versus Mitch Robinson. I like this mismatch, trying to give him all I got. 2 seconds to shoot, and with my left hand, again, I gets the rim with my offhand. Robinson gets me on the body, and I'm making it a pretty common occurrence for me to be taking free throws here. 2 more for me on the night to make it 14 points and 5 assists. So we have some free throws, we have some points, but we're still waiting for that first field goal. When will it come, as Dallas continues to chip away at the lead? 5 minutes to go. It's Tyrese Maxey checking in now for the Mavs. This is by far the deepest team, not only in the NBA, but one of the deepest teams of all time, as Maxey comes in, and Nerlens Noel also checks in. And he's actually the one trying to free up Doncic on this play with a screen, but I fight around it. Great contest, and Donnie with more excellent court vision displayed here. Come on, that's got to go in, and it does. I thought another shot was about to bounce out, but Ferran cashes in with his third trade ball of Game 3. Very fitting indeed, and it's one that we desperately needed. Now Nerlens Noel looking for the backdoor feed. It's tipped away by Donnie. What a defensive play. And I show the Mavericks how to lob. You guys want to get fancy on our home floor? Nah, I'll show you how it's done. Top in. Bringing the fans out of their seats. So that's a really high percentage shot. Obviously, you can't get much better look than that. But I talked about it in the first half a little bit. We were up near 60% for most of the first half. Now that's dropped down to 47%. 2 more points on some tough finishes. I'm doing the best job I can to try to find my looks. I think I really needed more time against Dallas to really find out my groove against this team. Sometimes you just need a couple possessions under your belt, a couple games against a team, and you can figure them out. I think the extra time is helping me out a lot. So now the lead is 9. As like I talked about earlier, this might be a rough stretch for us. We got to find somebody we can go to and get some points. This offense is really needing some help here in the third quarter. It's Emmanuel Quickly who hit one in the first, but not here in the second half. 69-61, 2 minutes to go with the fourth quarter right around the corner. This pass goes high post to Nerlens Noel, and then Dorian Finney-Smith finds the positioning inside, fighting off Quentin Grimes for 2 more points, and the percentages again. Mavericks still shooting in the low 40s, but we have now dropped down to under 50. I knew that wasn't going to last. You don't shoot 60% all game long, especially against a team like this, so we got to try to find our wits again. As Boban, nice turnaround there in the post. He's been very instrumental for this bench on the finals, as he now averages 6 points and 2.5 blocks, so he's bringing it on both ends in spurts for us off the bench. But 2 free throws there, cut it to 5 as Quickly forces it up. But how about Donnie G picking up the pieces and getting 2 points there? I like that move by Tibbs, bringing him in here at the end of the third, bringing in one of our best offensive players to grab us a basket as we enter the fourth with that same score, 75-68. This 15-point halftime lead has been pretty much cut in half. Can we hold on against the 71-win Mavericks in the first game in the finals played at Madison Square Garden since 1999? So now clocking back in here in the fourth quarter, it's Hardaway is the first guy to score on the floor, cutting this to a 6-point game as he continues to build on a very effective Game 3. Donnie coming off a screen, looks good, no good, but into the arms of yours truly. Great hustle displayed there as I busted my butt to get to that offensive board. I knew exactly where it was going. Very heads-up play there by the New York Knicks point guard. Now Ferran coming off a screen. Good-looking shot, but again, another one just can't find the bottom of the net. 71-77 as Dallas has a chance to cut it to a 1-score game, but Deshaun is closed down upon again. Mitch is too slow to close down the break, and it's now 20 points for number 20. Easily my best offensive game, scoring the rock of this finals. Now 79-71. We only got 9 minutes to play here in the finals, trying to body up Hardaway Jr. and make it hard for him. He dishes it off to Doncic. 5 to shoot. Coming over as I knock it loose from the MVP. Trying to run it again on here on the break. Donnie with the crossover. Spin move inside. It's blocked away by Luka as he does not give up on the play. Hardaway gives it off to Luka, but I was not expecting the give and go there. He again gets the one up on me. Oh man, Hardaway has come to play tonight for the first time in this series, but he's too slow trying to close down Ferran. But then Ferran with a boneheaded turnover there. I'm sorry, buddy, but you gotta make a better read than that. Up ahead to Deshaun, who finally gets one to go. This is not the time to be throwing lobs for Ferran. He had 7 turnovers in game 2. There's another bad one. Now 7:40 left to play in the game. It's a 4-point game. Our halftime lead is pretty much vanished on us. It went from 15 now down to 4. 6 to shoot. Again, we have another solid defensive possession. Only a couple seconds left to shoot on this one as well, but Doncic with an incredible pass to hype up Deshaun and his Mavericks teammates. They're back in it. They know it, we know it, and this crowd knows it. The basketball world knows it. 6:20 left to go. Again, Mavericks making it hard for us with their defense as Porzingis up ahead with the outlet pass. Spin move inside, kicking it out to Doncic, who has the mismatch if he wants it. But I'm also covering KP, so mismatches across the board. They want the pick and roll. Hardaway has it knocked away. Finally, our efforts are rewarded. Up to Donnie, who's hacked by Deshaun. And the refs don't blow the whistle. Deshaun for the lead as he takes it for Dallas. A 12-4 run to begin the fourth quarter of play after they open up the third quarter on a 14-4 run. We have to get things going inside of Montrez. More contact not called. It looked like things were going our way, officiating-wise, in the first half, but now it's back to one-sided calls. Dallas on top and looking for more. It's Luka who receives the handoff and makes it back-to-back threes. What has happened to the Knicks? This place has gone dead quiet. Come on, we need a bucket here. It's Ferran who's been taking the lunch money of Hardaway Jr. all night long, and it continues. How about an energizing play? Ferran taking the ankles of Porzingis and leaving Hardaway in the rearview mirror. We needed that one badly. 85-81. It's still a 4-point cushion for Dallas as I beat two guys off that screen. Nicely done, Eric Paschall, who checks in for Montrez. 22 now as I still lead the Knicks in that category. I'm coming up big where we desperately need it, but the job is far from over. I need to do more. 85-83. We're looking for the tie. 6 seconds left. Donnie may want more, but he drives off the screen. It's another hack not called. This time it's former teammate Mitchell Robinson hacking Donnie. Hardaway with the transition three. Donnie now falls to 1 for 7 shooting here in the second half after a blatant missed call. Look, the back judge is looking right at it. How do you not see that? Oh my goodness. Robinson gets away with a blatant hack. And I kind of lost Hardaway there for a second on the fast break. That happened way too much in game 2. Now it happens in game 3 as Donnie kind of forces it. But he's just too good sometimes on the offensive end. Beautiful spin jumper. My 7th assist comes in style. But now we're coming up on the danger zone. Mavericks have the ball with 2:22 left to go. Up by 5. And we are in danger of blowing a 15-point halftime lead. Bad shot by Luka, but where is Toppin? He's been crashing the glass great all game long. But finally, Mitchell Robinson, his former front court partner, he gets the better of him. So we will move the ball around here, trying to free up Ferran on a floppy screen. It looks good, and it is good. Ferran cuts to a 4-point game. Not out of it just yet, as it's now 1:55 left to go. A quick stop here, and you got to feel pretty good. It's Doncic, the MVP, gives it up to Hardaway. He's looked his best here in game 3, but I take it away. Paschall leads the break as the bench wing with 2 colossal points, beating everybody up the floor. Knicks not done just yet. 1:38 left to go. More stops are needed. Doncic to the corner. Hardaway with the pull-up. I thought he was going to take the 3, so I allowed the 2. Bit of a bad move there, jumping on a pump fake, but it's okay. We still got the rock, still got time. 94-90. Game 3, hanging in the balance. It's Toppin who struggled today. It's off the back iron. Great look. But with how Toppin's played, that's probably not the look we wanted, as I should have had that backcourt steal. No one picked up Mitch. I don't know what happened there on our transition defense. It wasn't even a transition. I mean, we were just out of sorts, out of whack there. We were a man down, as I should have got that steal in the backcourt. Ferran wants the Donnie screen. He's attacking Deshaun as Ferran is bailed out with a big foul there. Look at that. Kind of getting into it a little bit there. The friendly rivalry is at its peak here in the NBA Finals as Deshaun and Ferran get into it. And Ferran, who has barely missed at the free throw line this entire season, misses the first. Ferran, the fourth quarter king, with a bad and big missed free throw here in game 3. I could not believe my eyes when I saw that, as he can only get it down to 5. with just seconds left to go in game 3. 55, in fact. As we look for a stop, can we get the ball back? No, Doncic with a quick 2, beating Donovan off the dribble. He's now at 23 points, making a killing in the paint tonight. 47 seconds left. Ferran is open off the screen, but the closeout comes quickly. It's Hardaway. No good. But the Knicks continue to work hard on the glass as Donnie saves the possession. 8 seconds left. Hand off to Donnie. As he comes up, sets the screen for Ferran. We're going to keep it in number one's hands. He wants to pull up from mid as it's off the back iron and out. As that might be it for our chances to get back in this game. Kristaps Porzingis, the former Knick, with the knockout punch. I cannot believe we did not pull out game 3. Game 3 is a loss, 191. Our 15-point second half lead slipped away in the blink of an eye as the likelihood of us having to play another year of this series looms closer. Look at these second half stats. We pretty much blanked the Mavericks in game 3 in the second half, only holding them to, I believe, 35 points. Well, they do the same thing to us here in game 3, only 31 points to show for it on our side of things, as it felt like I was the only real source of income on the offensive end in the second half. 22-9, 3 steals, as I finally shot over 50% for the first time in this series. And it's just too bad it had to come in a loss. 3 for 13 for Ferran in the second half, 2 for 8 for Donnie, as they both still had a pretty solid ending stat line, but obviously when the big 3 of the Knicks isn't operating like we normally do, that's already putting us behind the 8 ball against a 71-win team. Hardaway had 25, but it took him 23 shots to get there. I'm satisfied with that performance, but Luka with a big triple-double on Donnie today. He really had his hands full trying to guard Luka. Deshaun, again, kind of struggled, only 4 for 11 shooting for him. And this was a game that we really should have won, and it's heartbreaking that game 3 puts us behind in the series 2-1. So moving forward, the Knicks face elimination, and for the first time in this playoff series, that is what the story is. We were able to beat Washington, Brooklyn, and the Miami Heat all 3 games to 1 without having to worry about elimination and keeping our series alive and season alive, but that's where we're at, and I'm met with the toughest challenge of my career so far. Can I win back-to-back games against a 71-win team, with one of those games being on the road if necessary, and the winner go home game 5? Well, at least I was able to turn it around personally here in game 3. I hoped I can improve and build off this momentum personally, but Ferran and Donovan, hopefully they can forget their fourth quarters and we can have a big showing in game 4 to show that we're not out of it just yet. And as you guys know, nothing on this series is rigged. I play everything once, live streaming game 5s. It's how this series has always been, and that's why I'm 0-2 in the finals. But at the end of the day, if I get this one on top of Deshaun and all my friends playing hard in this NBA finals, I'm perfectly content with this being the one. If we can do the unthinkable and come back and win these next 2 games on the 71-win Dallas Mavericks. We'll see if we can do it. Game 4 will be the next episode of this series. One more game in MSG before we head back out on the road for Dallas, a meeting in Dallas for game 5. So if that happens, we got to survive game 4 first. But anyway, that's episode 97 in the bag, guys. Really tough loss again, but got to close out these games. And we're going to try to do that in game 4 and try to right our wrongs in the next episode. So I hope to see you guys there. This is College Sports Revive signing out. Hope you have a great night, and I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more here on the channel.